Hello everyone, my name is Olga and you on my channel Happy Look. Today I am going to be showing you how to create such a wonderful straw headband with visor. To ensure it is universal in size, I decided to make it with a drawstring using a simple chain. You can also make it with tape, velcro or any other buckle. We will use herringbone single crochet stitches. This pattern is highly distinctive with its volumetric design, dense texture and minimal stretchability. The pattern consists of two rows, a forward pass and a return pass, as you can see here, to form that row. We will begin crocheting from the top, starting with the headband, which measures 50 by 3.5 centimeters. Afterward, we will proceed to create the visor. Instead of sewing it back on, we will crochet it directly onto the headband. There is a secret technique involved, and I'll show you how it's done. Visor measures ultimately 22 by 8 centimeters. And finally, our chain at the back. It measures approximately 90 centimeters. And adding a simple ribbon band on the inside can add a level of comfort. The visor is highly practical. You can put it in a suitcase. It can also be rinsed with water, dried and treated with a steam iron. And let's see what we need for work. I'm going to use the Velma Industrial Raffia, also known as Raffia Ryan or Raffia SP. We'll need 35 grams or 80 meters of this raffia. I'll use a 3 mm crochet hook. We need 60 centimeters of 2.5 centimeters wide grosgrain ribbon for interior band, and 3 stitch markers, measuring tape and scissors. So let's get into it. You can start out chaining really whatever number of stitches you'd like. I'm going to chain 76. So our chain is ready. To work the herringbone single crochet stitch, we are going to start out by working the first row into the back bumps of the crochet chain. So let's work single crochet into back bump of the chain here. Now we are going to start herringbone part. Insert our hook into the front of the leftmost leg and then into the next back bump of the chain, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull through all 3 loops. And we are going to insert into that leftmost leg of the stitch, then into the next back bumps chain, pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull through all 3. Kind of like a half double crochet. Pull up a pretty tall loop, because we are going to work through that left leg. Insert into that leftmost, into the back bump, yarn over, pull up the loop, yarn over, and pull through all 3. We are gonna keep repeating that across the row. So we have to chain left here in our first row. We are just going to complete. Here is our very first slip knot. One more herringbone stitch here. I've just finished forward pass here. So I'll chain 1 and turn. One thing to know is that this herringbone stitch creates 3 loops. 1, 2 and 3. So just keep that in mind because we want to work all our stitches through all 3 loops. Insert our hook into the stitch from back to front under all 3 loops. Grab the yarn, pull it through, yarn over and pull through both. And that is the reverse single crochet. We can see 2 legs. So from right to left, stick your hook into this leg closest to the next stitch, and then from back to front through all 3 loops. Grab the yarn, pull it through, pull up that loop pretty high again. Yarn over and they'll pull through all 3. So again, through that leg, under all 3 loops of the next stitch, grab the yarn, pull up a loop, and then yarn over and pull through all 3. So let's keep going and finish off this row. Through that loop, under all 3 loops of the next stitch. Grab the yarn, pull up a loop, and then yarn over and pull through all 3. So let's just go to the end. I reached that last stitch. There is only 2 loops to work through. Work that last stitch. So now we are going chain 1, turn, and to do our right side. All of the rows are going to begin with a single crochet stitch and it's going to count as our first stitch throughout. We are going to insert into that leftmost leg that stitch and then through all 3 loops, yarn over, pull it through, yarn over and then pull through all 3. So again, through that leg, under all 3 loops of the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, and then yarn over and pull through all 3. We are gonna keep repeating that across the row. To the left leg, under 3 loops, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, and then pull through all 3. I'm finishing this forward pass. So we have 1 chain left here, 1 more herringbone stitch here, chain 1, turn, and I'm going to do a return pass. We already know how to do it. So start with reverse single crochet, through that leftmost leg on the all three loops of the next stitch. Grab the yarn, pull up a loop, and then yarn over and pull through all three. So let's keep going and finish off this row. Pull up that loop pretty high again. I'm not very comfortable because I have to keep crocheting under the camera, far away from myself. I'm just going to complete. I'm finishing return pass here, so one more herringbone stitch here. I will chain one, pull out the yarn, tighten the loop and cut the end. I'm ready to create the visor, and now I'm going to find the center. Mark this place with a marker. Now from this marker we should to count 18 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 and 18. Put the marker into the next one. We will start with this, the 18th stitch. Same on the other side. These 39 stitches will form the foundation of our visor. We will work an auxiliary row of slip stitches on them. If you are unsure about the width of your visor, you can work this row along the entire length of the headband. So let's make slip knot. Stick your hook into this 18th stitch, making sure you are going under all three loops. Pull up a loop. This is the first stitch of auxiliary row. Insert the hook into the next stitch under all three loops, yarn over and pull through all. So let's just go to the last marker. So we have one stitch left here, one more here slip stitch, pull out the loop and cut the yarn. We finish the auxiliary row, the middle is here. We are gonna count 6 stitches from here. and stuff the visor into this 6th stitch. So let's make slip knot. Stick your hook into this 6th stitch, pull up a loop. We will consider this stitch as the first in our first row. Insert the hook into the next stitch under 2 loops and make single crochet. Insert hook into leftmost leg and work herringbone single crochet into the same stitch. That is, we made 2 stitches in one. We will call it an increase. So work herringbone single crochet into the next stitch. Work only with the auxiliary row. Next 2 herringbone single crochet in one, 2, and once more herringbone single crochet into the next stitch, and an increase or 2 herringbone single crochet in one, and 2, so we have the center stitch left here. Work an increase into it or 2 herringbone single crochet in one, 2, and then work symmetrically 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. So an increase, one herringbone single crochet into the next stitch, then an increase, and one herringbone single crochet into the next stitch, and once more an increase, 2 herringbone single crochet in one stitch, and one herringbone single crochet into the next one. So, including the very first slip knot, we crocheted 20 stitches, turn and start the second row. In all rows of visor, we will skip the very first stitch. So skip 1, insert the hook into the second stitch under all 3 loops and put reverse single crochet. Just make sure you are grabbing all 3. Then work reverse herringbone single crochet into each stitch all the way until the end. 1 stitch, 1 herringbone single crochet. So let's just go to the very first stitch of the previous row. I'm finishing the row. I have one stitch left here. Just work that last stitch. Then put reverse herringbone single crochet into the base of this stitch. Right here, we call the base stitch the last stitch of the auxiliary row that we used in the previous row. Use only stitches from the auxiliary row, not stitches from the edge. Then add 2 reverse herringbone single crochets into next 2 stitches. One, and 2. Such 3 single crochets we will add at the end of each row into the base stitch and next 2 stitches. Here is how we turn it, with the working yarn at the back. And start the third row with skip 1 and 1 single crochet. Then work 3 herringbone single crochets. 1. Make sure you are grabbing all 3. 2. And 3. And increase, or 2 herringbone single crochets in 1, 1, 2, then 4 herringbone single crochets, 1, 2, 3, 4, and increase, pass at the center with 3 herringbone single crochets and then work an increase and 4 herringbone single crochets 2 times. Take a look at the pattern. It's symmetrical, 4 stitches and increase 2 times, 3 in the center, then increase and 4 stitches 2 times. So I'm just going to complete. Now I finish in the row. I'm working an increase. I have 1 stitch left here, just work into very first stitch of the previous row. Then put herringbone single crochet into the base, right here, on the auxiliary row. Then add 2 herringbone single crochet into next 2 stitches. 1 and 2. I finish the forward pass, turn and start a return pass. Skip 1. Insert the hook under all 3 loops. Make sure you are grabbing all 3 and work reverse single crochet. Continue with reverse herringbone single crochets into each stitch all the way until the end. I'm finishing the row. Put reverse herringbone single crochet into the very first stitch of the previous row. This is our turning stitch. Then put reverse herringbone single crochet into the base. Look, this place is very visible right here. After that, add 2 reverse herringbone single crochets. Make sure you don't use the edge on the auxiliary row. So 1, 2, 'and turn. Skip 1 and I'm going to continue following the pattern. 5 stitches and increase 2 times, 7 stitches in the center and increase and 5 stitches 2 times. So single crochet and 4 herringbone single crochets. One, 2, 3, 4, and increase. Continue with the pattern. Now I am working an increase. And then 5 herringbone single crochets. 1, 2, into our joining stitch, 3, into base right here, 4 and 5. Turn and start a return pass. Skip 1, reverse single crochet, continue with reverse herringbone single crochet into the each stitch all the way until the end. Now I will speed up the video. We have some tails here. Usually I weave them in when crocheting, but right now that would prevent us from seeing the details. Let's hide this one now. So let's continue. I'm finishing the row as usual into our turning stitch. Into the base. And into auxiliary row, so 1, 2, turn. The 7th row we will follow the pattern 4 stitches and increase 2 times, 19 stitches in the center, and symmetrically increase and 4 stitches 2 times. So skip 1 and I'm going to work single crochet and 3 herringbone single crochets. 1, 2, 3, and increase, Continue with the pattern. I think you've already figured out how it works, so I'll show you the complete pattern for crocheting the visor, and you can work through these rows on your own. Note that in rows 11 and 12, at the very end, we crochet one single crochet into the base and add not 2 but 3 single crochets in the auxiliary row. That's what you see in the pattern plus 4. At the very end of row 12, we will pull out the very last loop and cut the yarn. So I finished the visor and now I am going to steam it. I barely touch it with the iron, no need to iron here, just steam. So let our visor rest and dry for a bit. And now I'm gonna make one round with single crochets around headband and visor. I'll start with slip knot. Insert the hook into the very first stitch under all 3 loops, pull up a loop, put all tails above the stitches and work single crochet into the next stitch. Work single crochets all the way around. Here we have tails. We will hide them too. Let's continue. On the turns we work 2 single crochets in one, right here. You can make 3 stitches into one if you want to create a corner, but I want to have a rounded turn here, so I am doing 2 into 1. Now I am going to put my single crochet into the middle of the rows until the corner. Once more 2 single crochets in one. Hide all tails. And I'm gonna keep on that around to the beginning. I'm finishing the round with single crochet and back 2 single crochet in one. And now I'm gonna work around with slip stitches. Insert the hook into both loops of the previous row, yarn over, pull through loop on hook, insert into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through loop on hook. I'm just gonna keep on that around all my visor to the beginning, and we'll get a very beautiful edge. Let's continue and I will meet you here. I'm finishing the round. Just work into very first stitch of the previous row, into the slip stitch. I'm gonna join the round with invisible fasten off. Pull the loop, cut the yarn, insert the hook through both loops of the next slip stitch, pull yarn through completely, insert the hook from the back into the middle of this last stitch, and pull yarn through completely. And now I'm going to hide the tail inside. Cut the end. Now I'm going to make a chain of 150 to tie our headband at the back. You can use any other method of fastening if you prefer. Now that everything is ready, I want to sew a cotton ribbon inside for comfort. Cut a strip a couple of centimeters longer than the headband. Try not to pierce the raffia with the needle, but thread it through the loops. Sew it along the entire length. Finally, let's add the drawstring. Thread the chain at least half a centimeter from the edge. Let's tie knots at the end of the chain and trim the excess. Now you can tie it. You won't need to constantly untie and retie it. Adjust the size once and tie it securely. Our visor is ready. I will steam it once more. To do this, I'm using a regular towel. Thank you for watching. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. See you next time. Bye bye.